Sold. Your number, sir? Thank you. Lot 665, ladies and gentlemen. A papier-mâché musical box in the shape of a barrel organ. Attached, the figure of a monkey in Persian robes playing the cymbals. This item, discovered in the vaults of the theater, still in working order. Showing here. May I start at 20 francs? 15, 20, 59 bid, 27, thank you, 20, 25, thank you, madam, 30, selling at 30 then, 30 once, twice, sold for 30 francs, the ink of the Shaggy, thank you, sir. A collector's piece, indeed. She often spoke of you, my friend. Your velvet line and your figurine movement. Will you still play when all the rest of us are dead? Lot 666, then, a chandelier in pieces. Some of you may recall the strange affair of the Phantom of the Opera, a mystery never fully explained. We are told, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the very chandelier which figures in the famous disaster. Our workshops have restored it and fitted up parts of it with wiring for the new electric light, so that we may get a hint of what it may look like when reassembled. Perhaps we may frighten away the ghost of so many years ago with a little illumination, gentlemen.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It took me a couple tries to get that right. This is actually one of my newer acquisitions. My mother got me this little record player for Christmas last year, and I searched and searched and searched until I finally found the LP. This is the original LP from 1986, I believe. It has everything in it. The sleeves for the records have photographs. It's much the same as the tape cassettes and the CDs have, but there was just something about having this record that I absolutely had to have. And it does have the booklet with it, with the complete libretto inside of it. I remember when I first had this soundtrack, I had the cassette tapes. When I first fell in love with Phantom, I studied this libretto so much that I know every single line, for every character. And I couldn't think, when I promised to make this video for Little Lotte Wanders, I couldn't think of something better to play. So, let's just get started here, because there is quite a bit to see. I think we'll just start with the artwork on the walls. How's that? Okay, gotta get up. At my age, it's not so easy anymore. Alright, this is a German lobby card. This is one of those items I found online. Now, I know what Das Phantom der Oper means, but ein grosser benvoller Grofuel, I haven't quite figured that one out yet. German's not my language. If I do undertake to learn a foreign language, it's going to be French. This photograph here was taken out of one of the yearly calendars that they had for Phantom for a few years. I had quite a few of them and ripped most of them apart to make artwork. Over here, this is a painting. I went to an art show. It was actually on the grounds of the old Ohio SeaWorld before it closed down. And I was just walking down and saw this from about 5 feet away. Ran to it. The name of the painting is Reflections of Romance. The artist is Terry Seco. This over here, this was one of my projects to get artwork. This is actually a painting. I think everybody knows who this artist is because he's got quite a few Phantom paintings out. This one was on the cover of a Millennium issue of the Phantom of the Opera magazine, fanzine, from a few years ago. Millennium edition was back in 2000, so yeah, it's been a while. But I placed the cover of the magazine onto a scanner, scanned it, blew it up, framed it, instant artwork. Because I basically can't afford this guy's paintings. Okay, over here, a little decorative piece I put together. A little shelf. I found the opera sign at a craft store. Of course, we have that famous mask up there. A few things here. Mug, purchased at one of the performances. And just to show you that there are Phantom items everywhere in hidden little spots around here. Hold on a second, I'm reaching into the mug. This pin. I was at another craft show and this lady was making pins out of stamps. So I asked her, do you happen to have the Phantom of the Opera stamp? And she says, not with me, but I can make that for you. So she sent that to me. Put that in there. Lon Chaney's Phantom. And there's one other thing in here. A very old keychain that I used to have that on my key ring, and it's totally worn off, as you can see. I think it looks kind of cool with the pewter. If I can get the rest of the paint off of there, I'd use it again. This little thing, my dad's cousin-in-law got that for me. It is musical. It plays Music of the Night. And this neat little thing. This is also kind of a double duty thing. I saw this at a craft store. I thought that was pretty cool. It was like, you know, like a flower that could be part of my decoration. But it has a secret. In case anybody ever tries to break in, it is a dagger. And yes, it is sharp. Fortunately, haven't had a chance to use that yet. Let's turn this up a little. Okay, next. This is a poster lobby card from the Broadway production. Another piece of artwork I copied from the internet. There's another one over here. This, my mother made this for me out of the Pantages Toronto Productions program. No, I went to go see it in Toronto when it was still playing there. When, yeah, I saw Colm Wilkinson as the Phantom of the Opera. And I brought this home, and a few months later, I go looking for my program so I could look at it, and I'm like, I can't find my program. Where's my program? Well, it turns out my mother stole it, had another one ordered for me so I could have a full one, and had this collage made for me out of it. You can see it's got the Toronto production photographs in it. Over here we have the famous poster. That was one of the first things I ever got, was that poster. And I am going to turn this just upright for just a little bit so you can see my piece de la resistance. This dressing gown is from a company called Truly Victorian. I saw that in their catalog and I completely flipped out. I purchased it because I wanted to go to a Halloween ball that they have in Akron, Ohio. Turn this back sideways again. So I purchased it and I made the bodice. It's not perfect, mind you. I am not a seamstress. I never professed to be. But I used just a plain red tank top. And I got some green material to make the panels. Gold trim. Added beads. I found this piece at the craft store and I thought that was just perfect to have on there for this front piece. Found the wig online. The mask was another project I did myself. Just a plain white mask. And I glued the lace onto it. The crown, I'm sure Little Lotte Wanders is going to recognize this crown. This was on Amazon. It's almost absolutely perfect. And that is my dressing gown costume. Now, the thing you have to know about this particular dressing gown, it is not silk, it is not linen. This dressing gown is velour. It is, when you got it on, it's very warm. But it's just beautiful. The lace is just scrumptious. So that stands there in my corner, looking beautiful all the time. Luckily, this dressing gown is washable, so if you ever stain it, anything happens to it, it can be stuck into any regular old clothes washer. Got my candelabra, which I have never lit this candelabra. For one thing, I don't want to burn anything down. It's just decoration. Yeah, I'm kind of a stuffed animal freak, so you will see stuffed animals around. I also love the Wizard of Oz, so you're going to see Wizard of Oz stuff here and there. Over here I've got, this is the Phantom of the Opera cologne. And it is gorgeous smelling, actually. I do have a couple boxes of it. I don't wear it that much. I tend to save it for when I know I'm going to be seeing the show. Here's one of the San Francisco music box. This one's a jewelry box. Let me show you a little closer here. Now these music boxes were made by San Francisco Music Box Company. They used to have stores in like all the malls, but you know, downturn of economy sort of meant that they downsized, so I don't really know if they make a whole lot of music boxes anymore. I know I haven't seen a new Phantom box for quite some time. Right, Titanic necklace. Here's another one. Forgive the dust, everybody. This thing is a little hard to clean. It's Paris Opera House. All in clear lucite. Alright, we're going over this way to my bookcases. Dun dun dun. I am a voracious reader, so I've got so many books, and most of them, well, I've read most of them, but some of them I haven't. Okay, let's start. We have plate. I believe this was Franklin Mint. Let me turn this around just to double check that. Yep, this was the Franklin Mint plate. This little monkey we found in a store, and I talked about him so much my mom went back to the store and got him for me. Monkey in Persian robes playing the cymbals. This is a doubloon from New Orleans from 1994. I've never been to New Orleans or to Mardi Gras there, but this was something I found on eBay. This is the Polonaise Phantom ornament. He's my second one. The first one I had accidentally got knocked off and shattered. It was heartbreaking for me, but I had to replace him. Here's another San Francisco music box. This little round box with a little mask in it that turns around while it plays. This was just a Christmas tree ornament, music stand. Lady at work, her sister makes these bottles, and she had her sister make that for me. I didn't even ask. She just brought it to me one day. These Barbie dolls, I made the costumes for them myself. Now, this was my attempt at doing the masquerade dress. Someday I'm going to try to undertake it again because, you know, I've told you I'm not a seamstress. But I found a Barbie handheld masquerade mask. It was actually blue to begin with, so I painted it silver. And this crown was an eBay find. I don't think I could have found anything more perfect. And this is my third or fourth version of the Hannibal Slave Girl dance outfit. This is probably the more intricate one I've made. The beads are little Swarovski beads I sewed on there. And that's just a plain old plastic Barbie crown that I painted gold and then glued the little Swarovski stones to it. The dolls, this doll I did find on eBay by specifically looking for brunette Barbies with curly hair, and found her, and she already was on point A. The other doll I just found at a discount toy store and played with her hair until I got it into a semblance of curl. Those are those. Over here, I've got the little San Francisco Music Box Company, just the sign that they used to have in front of their Phantom boxes. And this little ornament that I bought and just laid it there to make it look like the chandelier crashed. Okay, down we go. Here's where it gets intricate, people. Another chandelier ornament. Another music box. This one's like a shadow box of the Journey to the Lair. Another ornament. And the SF Music Box frame. Now we've got my books. This is going to take a while. I seem to have this habit whenever I go to a bookstore to look for the novel, because one just never does know if they have a different translation and a different cover than I already have. If they happen to have that, that book is usually coming home with me. So I've got a little pocket edition. Oh, you know what, people? I think the record just ended. We are going to have to go turn that around. And yes, kids, this is the way we did it back in the day. There it goes. Okay. And yes, I'm walking on my knees. Bad me. Okay. This is more like a children's or middle school adaptation. It was adapted by Kate McMullen. But I always thought the illustrations in this one were quite interesting. It goes through Eric's life in Persia. To the opera. And meeting Christine. This is the philosopher version, which I don't think is one of the better translations myself. This is the Barnes & Noble Classic Edition. I love the cover on this one. This next one, I have two of them because I forgot I bought one. So now I have two. It's a little children's edition. It's kind of a cross between, you know, a chapter book and also a Magna book. Next copy I have is another Barnes & Noble edition. This, I also have two of these. Once again, something I forgot I bought. But this is apparently a lost chapter from the Phantom of the Opera. Gaston Leroux wrote this, and it originally appeared in the newspaper or magazine version that he put out before the book was published. But when the book was published, this chapter was taken out. So it hadn't really been seen since the original issue of the book in the paper. And somebody found it and translated it, and there it is. The Lost Chapter, Phantom of the Opera. Here I have 25th Anniversary Edition. This is the one by Michael Heatley, covering, you know, the world of the Phantom, the book, the movies, the stage show. Unfortunately, the 2004 version is in there. Again, the entire full libretto is in the back of this book. That's the Vegas chandelier there in the middle. Okay, moving on. Here I have just some various paperbacks. This one is here only because the last story in this compilation, it's a Silhouette, which is now Harlequin, has a story in it based on Phantom of the Opera, so it had to go in there. Just another normal plain paperback version. This one is another version of the story written by a different author. This is like from the 50s or 60s. The story is basically the same, it's just written differently. It's interesting. This is a book I heard about when I was on a Phantom message board. It's called Le Fantôme, The Last Days in Life and His Soul Rescue, Brigida D'Arcy. It's very interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. It's very new agey. But you hear about a Phantom book, you gotta look for it. This is the Lowell Blair translation, which this is one of my favorite translations. I think it is quite possibly one of the better ones. Because he adds in things that the other translations kind of took out, which I don't understand why. There's just more description in this particular translation. And it's got an awesome cover. This was my first copy. Very first copy I purchased. And this was my first copy of Susan Kay's Phantom. You can tell the books that I read and reread and read over again are a little beat up. I just love the inside of this cover. This one I found at Barnes & Noble. I've only just started reading it, so I can't really tell you exactly what's going on yet, but it concerns this girl who apparently has some sort of magical voice and gets sent to this school somewhere in France where the now immortal Phantom of the Opera lives with a son he adopted who becomes obsessed with her. I don't know. I'm still trying to make that one out. Another Gaston Leroux. Like I said, if I find a copy I don't have, or the cover I don't have, it's mine. This is the Greg Hildebrandt version. I remember when this book first came out, I couldn't actually afford to buy it, so I'm like constantly going to the bookstore and sitting there for hours looking at this book. And I finally found this particular copy at a secondhand store. It just has the most incredible illustrations. It's the kind of book you get not exactly to read, but to have just for those illustrations. This is more of a children's version that uses the Hildebrandt illustrations in them. It's good to have. I had this one before I had the full book. And I got it simply because of the illustrations. Look at that. That's awesome. And anyone who's a fan knows this book. This is the George Perry Complete Phantom of the Opera. This is another one of the first things I ever had. So it's been looked at and read and treasured for a long, long time. Here's something else I have two of. I have two of these because I found one at a book fair I went to. And another one I came across on eBay. So this is the pop-up book. Yes, there was a pop-up book. This came out, when the show first came out. There are some moving parts, but the book is kind of old, so it's kind of hard to still move the parts to show you, because I don't really want to break anything. I can try to do some for you here. Like in this one, Christine in the Mirror. Let's move it, and there he is. Masquerade scene with the old ugly dress she had. And look right in the middle there with those two. And dun, 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 dun. Once upon a time, this was a musical page. No more. But you pull this tab here and the boat goes. And Eric used to be able to appear and disappear here. Not so much anymore. Yeah. One of those things you just treasure. Okay, everybody pardon me while I pile these back in. Okay, we have a little graphic horror novel version. I am not a graphic novel reader. It's kind of like reading cartoons to me. But it's fun. It's interesting. Although why Raw looks like Jack Black in this version, I don't know. This was a book written by one of my Facebook friends, Vicky Hopkins. Vicky, hello. Less from the Phantom of the Opera. Vicky was one of the people who had a online radio show, All Things Phantom, which, you know, I was featured on one of the episodes of All Things Phantom talking about my collection. And yes, people, I do have a copy of this. I don't have much to say about it, but yeah, I got it. Next. These bookends. My mom bought those for me. Okay, here we have another copy of Susan K. Phantom. Yet another Phantom copy. This is one of those fancy library copies, which I paid way too much money for, by the way. It's the Easton Press copy. But that picture was worth it. Yet another Susan K. Yet another Phantom. This copy here, let's just say that 50 Shades of Grey kind of ruined everything. And I do mean everything. So this is an erotic version of the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, let's just leave that one. Okay, this is one of the snow globes from San Francisco Music Box. Masquerade Scene. I got another one down here of the Journey to the Lair. And I have yet more books. You remember earlier when I mentioned that picture that I took off of the Millennium issue of the Phantom of the Opera fanzine? This is that issue. There were only 4 other issues of the fanzine. I do have them all. And just so you know, in case you didn't know, the name of the artist is Bradley J. Parrish. Yes, I do have the 2004 movie companion. Hey, it's Phantom. This is a book, Phantoms of the Opera, Face Behind the Mask, by John L. Flynn. I think it was kind of like a college thesis or something. But it goes through all the different versions of Phantom that have been around since time immemorial. It's very comprehensive, and it even goes over, you know, TV shows and other movies that take the themes from the Phantom. Mentions all those too. A little fan anthology I found called Rhapsody on Laurel. It's basically fan fiction. And I find, even though I do like fan fiction for other things, other TV series and movies, I've never been able to get into the fan fiction for Phantom. Believe it or not, I can't seem to get into fan fiction, spelled P-H-A-N fiction. We have the Classic Silence, Volume 1, Phantom of the Opera. It's all about the 1925 Lon Chaney movie. And it even goes over the parts of the movie that were originally filmed but were taken out of the movie with the original ending. It goes over all of that. This is a really, really interesting book. If you can go on Amazon, find that. I highly recommend it. This is a book about my local theaters near Cleveland, Playhouse Square. Some of the most beautiful theaters you will ever see. They are absolutely stunning. They're all, turn of the century theaters. They're just gorgeous. And this is part of my Phantom collection because there is an article in here about when Phantom of the Opera first came to Cleveland. I'm not sure of the exact chapter. But there is a mention of the Phantom in there. This is the piano book with all the music. Now, mind you, I can't actually read music, but it's a good thing I already know all the songs. We have a big book, Andrew Lloyd Webber, His Life and Works, by Michael Walsh. And when they say his life and works, every show up to when this book was published is mentioned in here. There's Phantom. And another book, Musicals of Andrew Lloyd Webber. Sorry, it takes me a while to get all these things back in the order they should be. Okay, we have got the Eric in a box. He does not go down in there. It does not pop up. There's no thing to wind. And I believe he had a hat at one time, but this was an eBay find, and he no longer had his hat. Another Leroux copy. This is the Leonard Woolf Essential Phantom of the Opera, which I believe is another very good translation. Just like the Lowell Blair translation, it puts in parts that were originally taken out back in. So I really like that one. That's a good one. Another copy of Lost Chapter that I forgot I had. Oh, here's a very interesting one. Children's book edition with some of the freakiest illustrations I have ever seen. Wait, there's the Persian. Yeah, these illustrations are not my cup of tea. Some people might like the weird and not so wonderful, but as for me, I'm just not into it. Now, please excuse me, but how in the world would Eric be able to build that underneath the Opera House? This copy is just like a really bad acid trip. Scorpion and the Grasshopper. Just look at that. I don't even know what to say. And Eric looks like the Green Goblin. This one I like a little better, another children's version. This is the Phantom Cat of the opera. And just like its name would suggest, yes, all the characters in this version are cats. So it's kind of like a very strange crossover episode. There's Carlotta. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a little bit. Go put the other record on. I shall be right back. There we go. Sounds a little warped. Well, that was really the end of the books as far as fandom goes. I have like a ton of books here, but none of the rest of them are Phantom of the Opera connected. So we're just going to concentrate on the little items I have in between all of the books that are Phantom related. San Francisco Music Box, Christine and Raul on the rooftop. here I have a little baseball hat. Here's another little doll I made. Now, any girl who grew up in the 80s might remember these. They were called Glamour Gals. I loved these dolls. I played with them all the time. And this particular doll was my favorite. Her name was Danny. Of course, now her name is Christine. I made the little outfit she's wearing myself. Little slave girl outfit I made. This cute little guy, little bear, just as Phantom. And the mirror is actually a hanger for a Christmas stocking. But I just thought, oh my god, it looks like the mirror. And we have a little something here that y'all might recognize. Yes, this is a stage-used note. I do have a couple other stage-used notes. You'll see those in a bit. If you're interested, my other books, you know, I've got them separated by, like, theme. So here's my King Arthur stuff. My favorite book of all time, Beauty by Robin McKinley. And my childhood Bible right there. Other books I have. And here is the San Francisco Music Box, Journey to the Lair. This is the original version. There's another version out there where Christine is facing front. This is the original one where she's looking at him. And those are all my ghost books. Okay, down here with all my Oz stuff. Now, this is like some of the only things that Oz that I have in this particular room. Most of my Oz stuff is in another room, but with all the books and everything, I had to have the books on the bookshelves, so all the Oz books came in here. And here's another SF Music Box, Christine and Raoul, with the specter of the Phantom looming behind them. Now, like I was saying, Oz and Phantom are the two greatest loves I've had. And I have no need or want to make a choice between them. I just don't think I could ever choose between them. They both mean absolutely everything to me. Oz makes me happy, Phantom makes me happy, and I don't think I could have a choice between either one of them. If somebody said, well, what would you rather have if you had a choice between, would you rather have all the Oz stuff or all the Phantom stuff? I can't make that choice. You know, it would break my heart to really lose either one of them. Oh, we're going to have to start from the bottom and go up on this side. Down here we have Christine and Raoul in her dressing room. Back here is a game, a board game of some sort. I think it's like French to begin with for the Phantom de l'Opera. Oh, we have a visitor, everybody. Say hi to Percy. Say hi, baby. Did you come up? You came upstairs? Did you? What are you doing? I'm gonna get you. That's my baby boy. That's my baby boy. If you'd like to see this game, I will see if I can get this out here. Okay. I've never actually played it, because basically I think I'd need to have somebody else as absolutely insane as I am to be able to make any sense of it. Instructions, which are mostly in French. Game board. And it has different character cards, playing pieces, like I said, I'm totally confused by this game. And, you know, I haven't even played it. So basically, I'm just trying to figure out. Like I said, I need somebody who is as insane as I am, who would maybe want to come over, and the two of us can try to figure out this game together. This is not specifically Phantom. It was made by Department 56, which was a, they made different, like, Christmas houses and everything, and I think this was probably supposed to be for some kind of haunted house, but it's just so Phantom. To me, it was Eric playing his organ. Here's one of my first music boxes. This is the mirror. We have the music of the night scene. And it's gonna, yeah, I love the TV series Supernatural. I'm getting up, so hold your horses. More SF music box. Eric, since contemplating on his throne. And this one has the Opera House in a snow globe. And Christine and Eric are going around it in the lake in the boat. Oh, the unmasking scene. Another Music of the Night one. The original music box I ever had. This is a Inesco. Now this music box, I'm not sure where. This is like based on the Silent movie. I found this on eBay. Strangely, it plays You Are My Sunshine. These little things are also eBay finds. This is from a Universal Monsters chess set. And this is also from Universal Studios. Probably some kind of house set like Department 56 used to make. This little guy back here is from CVS Pharmacy. God, so many years ago. They made the monsters from the Universal movies, including Eric the Phantom. This is the little version. All the way up here. Yeah, I bet you are right now. We have a little mask frame there. This is the bigger version of that CVS monster. Back here, I have a puzzle. And that's where that piece I found came from. See if I can get that piece back in there. Oh, I dropped another one. 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. No, it has not been put together because I just have no patience for jigsaw puzzles. I basically have little to no patience for much of anything. There is the official Barbie and Ken set. Bring down here. Let me pick these up so I don't lose them. Oh, goodness. We are not done yet, people. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, these are my programs.
So it is to war. But this time,
I will only go through a few of them because, good God, in the morning. This is the one from the newer tour version, which, to be quite honest, I don't think the new tour is half as good as the original. I don't know, maybe it just loses something in the interpretation. I don't know, but I just wasn't as into it. Especially since they changed the Phantom's Red Death costume to look more like the movie version. I mean, the music's there, has most of the original costumes, but it just, I just think it lost something. So we've basically got program after program. Ads. There's my Pantages program. I've seen it every single time it's come to Cleveland. Sometimes twice. And I've also traveled to other cities. Here is a 2013 calendar. This one I have not disseminated as far as the pictures in it. It goes on. And then you have the fancy programs. This was actually the first one, when it first came to Cleveland, that I got. It was actually the second time I saw the show was this particular production. The first time I saw the show was in Toronto. So, no, I did not go all the way to New York to see this. This was an eBay find. Well, actually, this was the 25th one, so this is Yeah, this is the 25th anniversary program, which I found on eBay. It was a local magazine. Barbie Bazaar magazine. I'm a little crazy. This is the Canadian Tour one. And more. This was a London program. I've never gone to London to see the show. Any London-based stuff I've got is all eBay finds. This is a San Francisco one. Oh, God. Okay. So, I was on a message board with a bunch of people who were huge fans of the San Francisco version of the Phantom of the Opera. One night they had like a special Christmas show, and somebody in particular was going to be there to like make a speech. Somebody who I adore with every beat of my heart. So I begged the lady who ran the message board, could you please, get his autograph for me? She said, sure. That man was Brian Boitano, the Olympic figure